Okay, we're taking a look at the green Marvel cards. Let's just get right into it. Ant-Man's Army is first up. 3/2 for an insect, 3 mana. When this creature enters, create a food token or a treasure token. Hey, that's pretty good. I like the versatility of a food or a treasure token. I like that a lot. Call damage control. 1 and a green. Sorcery. Choose up to 2. Return those cards from your graveyard to your hand. An artifact, a creature, an enchantment, or a land. That almost feels like a better regrowth. I think it honestly is a better regrowth. The only thing you can't get back are like non-permanents. It's like no instants, no sorceries. But this gets you back an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, or a land. This is actually really strong. I like that a lot. Okay. Next is Claim the Kingdom. 1 and a green, enchantment plan, landfall. Okay, that means it's already problematic. Whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control and a plan counter on this enchantment. When the 4th plan counter is put on this enchantment, sacrifice it. When you do, put an indestructible counter on target creature you control. As far as the plans are considered, this one is probably the weakest. Doc Samson, super psychiatrist. He's a super psychiatrist. Okay, legendary creature, Gamma Doctor Hero. So he's 3/6 for 5 mana. If you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent you control, put that many +1 of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent instead. Tap, add X mana of any one color, where X is Doc Samson's power. Wow, he taps for 3. I like that. Earth's Mightiest Heroes, 6 mana. Sorcery, Teamwork 5. Reveal the top 8 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. If this spell was cast using Teamwork, put any number of creature cards from among them onto the battlefield instead. Put the rest into your graveyard. Wow. That is very strong. You gotta have Teamwork 5, though, so you can't just develop a board out of nowhere. But this is really good. I like that a lot. Epic Fight, 3 mana. We got Wolverine and the Hulk here. And if you know, you know, that was an epic fight. 3 mana. Sorcery, choose one or both. Double target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. Target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls. That is so damn strong. So it's 3 mana, and it's slow, so you kind of have to plan for this. But you take a creature, you double its attack power and toughness, and then it just crushes something. And now that thing is out of the way for you to attack through. That's so good. What's the flavor text saying? You think being big is going to help you, bub? All that does is make you easier to hit. I love Wolverine. It's like I know he's kind of like a Mary Sue. It's like he's like indestructible, has plot armor the size of Texas, but I just like him. I think he's cool. Hey, Giant Growth. That's a reprint and thematic because of the ant. Go nuts. 1 green mana, Teamwork 3 sorcery. Choose one. If this spell was cast using Teamwork, choose both instead. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Target creature control fights target creature opponent control. Hey, that's not bad. Yeah. Not bad for only 1 mana. Gorilla? Okay. 1 and a green. 2/2. Reach. Sacrifice this creature and destroy target non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. Activate as a sorcery. Oh, that's interesting. But as a sorcery, that's pretty bad. Because every other version of like this effect allows you to do it in instant speed. Hellcat, Undying Vigilante. 2/2, human hero for 2 green mana. Haste. When Hellcat dies, return her to the battlefield under her owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on her. She loses all ability and gains haste. Okay, hold up. So for 2 green mana, you get a 2/2 haster. It's going to swing in. If it dies, it comes back as a 3/3 with haste. That's good. That's really good. I want to play that. Hercules, Prince of Power, 3 mana, 3/3 with power up, 4 and a green. Put a +1/+1 counter on Hercules. He gains Vigilance, Indestructible, and Haste until end of turn. That's pretty cool. That's Pretty cool. Yeah, so you play him for 5, and he comes in as a 4/4 Vigilance Indestructible Haste. That's not bad. Heroic Feast, 2 and a green, enchantment. When this enchantment enters, create a food token. Whenever you gain life, choose up to that many creatures you control. Put a +1/+1 counter on each. I'm sorry? Whenever you gain life, choose up to that many creatures. Okay, so if you gain 1 life, you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. If you gain 2 life, on 2 creatures. Okay, I get it. Yeah. That's decent. That is decent. I won't say it's good, but it's decent. Okay. Next up is Hulkling, Burgeoning Bruiser. So it's a Vigilance 2/3. Whenever another creature you control enters, if it has greater power or toughness than Hulkling, put a +1/+1 counter on Hulkling. Okay, so he's a 2/3 with Vigilance for 3 with Evolve. Okay, that's decent. Khazar of the Savage Land. Ooh, I remember him. Okay, so I didn't watch or read a whole lot of the comics growing up, but I did watch probably every single episode of the old X-Men TV show, the Saturday morning cartoon show. And there was one episode where the X-Men go to the Savage Land and they all lose their powers because of the effects of the Savage Land. But this guy right here, Khazar, he lived in the Savage Land. He didn't need no powers. He was really cool. I really liked Khazar. He's very interesting. 4 and a green, 3/2. Legendary creature, human barbarian hero. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play lands from the top of your library. When Khazar enters, create Zabu, a legendary 2/2 green cat creature token with landfall. Whenever land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on Zabu. Well, Zabu is pretty cool. I like Zabu. 5 mana is a lot to ask for this kind of effect on such a small body. I do like that he creates the cat when he comes in, so you are getting quite a decent bit of power and toughness across 2 creatures. But 5 mana is so much to ask for this effect. I think if he costs 4, he would see a lot of play. Okay, Knight of Wundagore, cat knight villain. 1 and a green, 2/1 trample. Whenever you put a +1/+1 counter on another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. This ability triggers once each turn. Okay, so it's a common. It's not that strong, but pretty cool. Mr. Hyde, Monster Within, 3 mana, 2/2. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose 1. Put a +1/+1 counter on Mr. Hyde. Remove a counter from a creature you control. If you do, draw a card. I like that. I like that you can remove. Oh, that's the flavor. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose 1. He becomes the monster by putting a +1/+1 counter on, or he becomes the man by removing the counter and drawing a card. The monster is stronger, +1 counter. The man is less strong, but is smarter, so you draw a card. That is an absolute flavor win. That is a great card. I love it. Mole Man, Moloid Master. 3 mana, 1/1. You may play lands from your graveyard. Oh, another one of those, huh? Landfall. Whenever land you control enters, create a 1/1 green minion creature token named Moloid. With whenever this token attacks, you may mill a card. Yeah, there's always one of these. It's funny. It's like we went so long with only having Crucible of Worlds, and now we're getting a new Crucible effect stapled onto a creature, almost like every 3rd set. Pet Avengers, 4 mana, 4/4 reach, is a creature dragon, cat, dog, bird, frog, hero. Okay, I like it. Reach, power up, 7 mana. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature and create a 3/2 white hero creature token with vigilance. I love it. I love it. The flavor is so cool. Okay. Powerful Broker, 3 mana, 3/3. Tap. For each kind of counter on target permanent or player, give that permanent or player another counter of that kind. Activate only as a sorcery. For each kind of counter. Okay, not quantity of counter. Yeah, so you can't like double poison counters. You just give them an additional one. Punishing Punch. 3 mana, instant. This spell costs 2 less to cast if there are 2 or more creature cards in your graveyard. Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature an opponent controls. Huh. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm seeing a lot of like the same mechanics in green that we saw in black. So I'm kind of thinking that like a Jund villains deck can be possible. Because we're seeing a lot of villains in green here. Rapid Rescue. 1 green. Instant. Mill 2 cards. You may put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand. You gain 2 life. Oh, that's actually good. That's actually really good. Only 1 red mana, or 1 green mana. But actually, I think that is that Seeds of Hope? I think Seeds of Hope does exactly this. Yeah. Reptile Dinomorpher. So 1 green for a 1/2. He has 2 abilities. He has Brontosaurus, pay 3 mana. Until in a turn, Reptile becomes a dinosaur hero with base power and toughness 3/5, gains vigilance and reach. Pretty cool. Now, this is only until in a turn. Tyrannosaurus Rex is 6 mana. Until end of turn, Reptile becomes a dinosaur hero with base power and toughness 6/6 and gains trample. That's pretty cool. I like that. It kind of looks like you could have been like one of the Morlocks. Restorative Technique, 3 mana. Sorcery. Target player gains 2 life. Then searches the library for a basic land card, puts it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffles. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Wow, that does a lot. You gain life, you ramp, because it puts it onto the battlefield tapped. Yeah, so you gain life, you ramp by 1, and you put a +1 counter on a creature. That's pretty cool, because typically when you want to ramp, you kind of have to sacrifice other aspects of your game plan. This one allows you to kind of maintain tempo along with how you are ramping. So that's actually pretty solid. I like that. Rick Jones, Destined Sidekick. Okay. 1 green mana for a 0/3. 3 tap mill 4 cards. You may put a hero or enchantment card from among those cards into your hand. Kind of silly. Savage Land Dinosaur. 7/6, 6 mana, trample, basic land cycling 2. I think like every color has like one of these. Serpent Specialist, 1 green mana for a 1/1 Death Touch. Power up, 3 and a green, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. Okay. Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, 1 and a green, 2/2. You may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. Hey, that's sweet. And it's of creatures, not other creatures, so you can use it on it itself. Tap, add 2 mana available color, spend this mana only to activate abilities of creature sources. Okay, so that's kind of cool, because this guy allows you to basically hastify activated abilities. And this will add 2 mana of any color. And it only costs 2 mana to cast, so you're really not losing any tempo by playing Shang-Chi. That's actually really cool. She-Hulk, Jade Defender, 3 and a green, 4/4, reach, trample. Power up is 4 and 2 green, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. Put a +1/+1 counter on She-Hulk. That's not a bad ability. Yeah. So you cast it for 6, and she comes in as a 5/5, and you bust up a artifact or enchantment. I like that. Super Strength. 5 mana, enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +4/+4, trample, and ward 1. Okay, that's funny. Hey, it's the Thing. I like the Thing. See, I'm not a big fan of the Hulk. I think he's kind of silly, but I like the Thing. The Thing is interesting to me. He has a little bit more depth of character. The Thing, Ben Grimm, 5 and a green, legendary creature, human hero, 7/7, trample. Whenever 1 or more heroes you control deal combat damage to a player, put 2 +1/+1 counters on the Thing. That's pretty good. I like that a lot. Yeah, another hero hits the opponent, gets bigger. This actually pairs really well with Hawkeye, actually. Tigra, Feline Fury. 1 in a red, 2/1, flash, trample. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Tigra. Hey, that's not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Training Regimen, 3 and a green, enchantment. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have trample. At the beginning of combat in your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature control. Okay, make it cost 3, and I'll play it. The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. 1 and triple green. 4/4. Do you like squirrels? Whenever the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl enters or attacks, create a squirrel. I love squirrels. 4. Create X11 green squirrel creature tokens, where X is the number of squirrels you control. That's pretty strong. You just swarm the board with a ton of squirrels. It's kind of like the Krenko of green. I can see a lot of people picking this up. Undercover Scroll. 2 mana, 1/1. As long as there are 2 or more creature cards in your graveyard, this creature gets +2/+2 and is all creature types. Very nice. And it taps to add 1 mana of any color. That's a pretty decent mana dork. It kind of reminds me of Werebear from, I think it was Odyssey. Wakandan Royal Guard. 5 mana for 4/4 Vigilance. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. If that creature is another hero, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it instead. Not bad. Decent body, 5 mana, makes other things stronger. If you're playing into the archetype, they get much stronger. That's pretty good. Yeah. White Tiger, Ava Ayala. 1 and a green, 2/2. Power up of 6. Put a +1/+1 counter on White Tiger and create the Tiger God, a legendary 4/4 green cat god creature token with the Tiger God can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. For an uncommon, that's not bad. You play it at 6. Yeah, you play it at 6 and you basically get 7/7 worth of power. That's not bad. That's above rate. Okay, and here we have World War Hulk. 3 and 2 green for a saga. The next red or green creature spell you cast this turn can be cast without paying its mana cost. What? That's insane. Pay 5 mana and put like the Hulk on the table, or you put Thor on the table. That's bananas. Okay, part 2 is put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Okay, make them bigger. Part 3 is choose target creature control. Until end of turn, double its power and toughness and it gains trample. Yeah, this card really wants to be played with Hulk. It's like, let's just get stupid. Yeah, okay, that card's strong. Okay, all right, so I believe we are at the end. Yes, so that is all the green cards. Let's talk about the cards that I would personally want to pick up from this set. So while World War Hulk is a really cool card and pretty decent card, it's not one I would pick up because I don't really play that kind of strategy. So I would probably skip on that one. I might pick up an Unbeatable Squirrel Girl just because I like swarm strategies. And green squirrels, it's thematic. There's a lot of squirrel synergies over the years. You could definitely make something out of that. Let's see. Undercover Scroll is decent, but we have better mana dorks in standard. Let's see. Tiger Feline Fury is an interesting tempo card. I like that she has flash. I don't know if I'd pick it up though. Shang-Chi is definitely one that you probably want to pick up if you're playing into the power-up strategy. Let's see. Rapid Rescue, that's pretty strong. Restorative Technique. I would probably get a few copies of Restorative Technique. Let's see what else. Punishing Punch. Yeah. If I want to build a Jund Villains deck, I would pick up Punishing Punch. Let's see what else we got here. Hellcat. Yeah, I would definitely pick up copies of Hellcat. That's a very strong opening creature. Epic Fight, for sure. Yeah. Epic Fight, double the size of your dude and then clear the way. Yeah, and Call Damage Control. Yeah. Yeah, so Call Damage Control for sure. Epic Fight for sure. Punishing Punch, maybe. The only reason it's a maybe is because actually, no, this does not care about villains. No, that's a definite. Punishing Punch is really good. I would take Punishing Punch. Rapid Rescue and Restorative Technique. Those are the cards I would probably look for. Yeah. That's and pretty easy to get a hold of. Like most of these are commons and uncommons. Yeah, so yeah, those are the cards I would be looking for personally if I wanted to get anything from green in this set. So there you go. That is green, and after this, we're going to be looking at what's that? Oh, it's the multicolored cards. Yeah, so we'll be looking at those next. So stay tuned.